paranormal morgue stories, and I hope you enjoy these. So, this writer writes in and says one afternoon, him and a buddy were out collecting trash close to a fence line of the cemetery in an area where there were a bunch of mausoleums. So, they went to picking up their trash. They rounded the corner and saw an older gentleman, maybe in his late 60s, early 70s, standing with his back against the side of the mausoleum, just looking at the plot of graves. The two of them waved at the gentleman and continued on about their business, and they noted that his clothes were kind of old looking, which, most old people probably still dress like, the clothes they have. Corduroy jacket, it was 80-degree weather. One of those newsboy type caps, long pants, button up shirt. They didn't think a whole lot about it. They just kept on about their day. The one thing they did note was that he had a coffee mug he was drinking out of, not a thermos or a styrofoam cup with a lid, just a coffee mug. So like I said, they waved at the gentleman and continued on about their day. And as they got further down the road, they said, man, that was kind of weird, don't you think? So when they got back, they talked to another buddy of theirs, and he too was on this cleanup crew, and they said, yeah, man, we saw this like old dude standing by one of the mausoleums, kind of just weird and out of place. And the guy said, oh yeah, did he happen to have a mug of coffee in his hand? And he said, yeah. Well, that's our ghost. So they pressed him for a little bit more of an explanation, and he said that that's the same spot that his family plots on, and he always has a mug of coffee in his hand. He said there was the grave of the wife and two daughters, and a husband. The husband's grave says that he passed sometime in the early 1970s, and the wife and two daughters' graves say they passed a couple decades before, and the three of them all had the same date that their lives had ended. They think that he was the dad of this family, and that maybe he used to visit his daughter's grave, and that you would only ever see him for a few seconds, and then he would just whoosh, disappear.